Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. So today I would like to introduce myself. I am Marlo T. Banuel, Best Chancellor. So today we tackle or we discuss in chapter 8, which is organizations for production. So our learning objectives. First, we discuss the types of production process. Second, increasing the production number. Third is the factors involved in manufacturing. Fourth is steps in production control. And fifth is the quality control. So that we can give some example and we can discuss. So first, we tackle the production or manufacturing. It is more commonly called, it is concerned with making of things, the creation of form utility. Etymologically, from the word manufacturing, it means that by making a hands, even the simplest of type of manufacturing necessitates of some tools, there are the hands tool and the machine tool. In addition, tools are various types of equipment are often necessary depend on the nature of manufacturing process. So next, we proceed the basic functions of manufacturing. It is the change of raw material or secondary materials into a more useful form of state. It is involved the changing of the nature of the material or a changing of its form or its bulk. Together with selling, the manufacturing contributes or constitutes one of the two basic functions in business. The business finance is, of course, the essential both manufacturing and selling. In the Philippines, agriculture is still the biggest sector in the economy production pattern. It has contributed in 34% to the total production in 1963. Manufacturing, however, registered a progressive increases from the 11.9% of the total production in 1953 and jumped to 18.5% in 1963. So next, we proceed the manufacturing divisions of the company is usually it is the largest division and the employs biggest number of people, and the office of personnel department and the finance department and the facilitating department may be donated by the manufacturing division. The other department like purchasing, transportation, and maintenance and services and engineering, warehousing, and the productions is produce the parts of what you do away from the import or the imported ones that eventually produce parts. It would be the way to import. And also, the factory office of a group may be included in addition to the actual manufacturing unit. A factory office is small personal staff, the production control, the plant engineer, the shift inspector, and the product engineer, purchasing, receiving, shipping, material or stores, staff or traffic and cost. So next, we proceed the types of production process. The method by which the materials in industry are produced, the manufactured, into the things that industry has consumers want to know as a production of processes. According to the classification, the production process are the extractive, analytic, aseptic, and fabricating. So first, extractive process. So in some industry, the basic production process is one of extracting substance from the earth or the sea to know as the extractive process. For example, this process are the mining of iron, gold, silver, and drilling for the petroleum, and also the extraction of the magnesium and other chemical from the ocean. So number 2 is analytic process. Analytic process is one of which and the basic substance is broken down into a number of materials, which may or may not be bear in resemblance of apparent substances. And also, it is mean that analytics is the systematic computational analysis and of gathering data or the statistics, and it can use for the discovery, interpretations, and communications of meaningful the patterns of data. So number 3 is synthetic process. So synthetic process is referred to those industry which is a number of different materials and we are combined from form of a single project. And it is the manufacturer steel, the glasses, crayon, and the dinner where the final products are quite and different from the original ingredients. And because the physical or a chemical change in the other industry such as the productions and the automobiles, the electrical appliances and the radios and televisions are such as we are in the materials also. And without the undergoing the physical chemical changes, we are the process to something called assembly processes. So number 4 is fabricating process. So the term fabricating process is also used principally in the structural steel businesses. It is referred to the process that we are rather and widespread in industry, wherein the materials is a form of change and also existence of being machined, and like oven, and cut up and pressed and finished the plate and some of the other manner. For example, of fabricating process are not to be found in the manufacture of clothing, shoes, certain types of furniture, and boats. So next, we proceed. We have the two types of continuous intermittent processes. So first is continuous process. Unfortunately, the term of continuous process has been a dual meaning that is frequently and confusing. It is sometimes used for describe the manufacturing situation, which is the productive facilities must be kept and continuously the operations of relatively and the long periods of time. And also it is the work with steel industry, for example, must be kept hot once they are being inlet and until we shut down, you can cause the mechanical failure and a lack of orders. Second is intermittent process. Here again, we encounter there are the double meaning word. It is the first sense of refer to the manufacturing process can be stopped at will. For example, at the end of each day, that can be started again, and the next morning we will difficulty and under the concepts of term, almost any industry can operate and purely on once a half day and the basis and would be qualified. So next, we proceed increasing production. So increasing production is a core processes in production we have been used in a good advantage and marketing, transportation, office of management, and other business function. So it means that it is the manufacturing, however, they are find the greatest application and mainly responsible for the progress to industrializations in advance in the countries. So next, we have 4 processes. So first is specialization. So it's referred to the narrowing of the field activity. The company may be specialized the products instead of putting in a variety or a radio in electronic products. A company may be specialized in only the 4 kinds of transistor radios, which include the develop the higher and the quality of perfections. And also specialization may be the applied processes and equipment or a labor skills. Second is simplification. So it means that it's a refer of reduction of the number of types, size, forms, design, colors, and also the other characteristic of the products. And when the manufacturer of clothing reduced, we are the product three types of the uh, basic size of small, medium, and large, and to the engage of simplification. So next is the standardization, so refer to the setting of standards or norms as the size, quality, form, measure, width, and other similar features. Instead of electric light, bulb, and generally sterilized such as that the bulbs are purchased anywhere you can fit in a racket of any home. And an automobile or a jeep parts are standardized by the manufacturer to enable to make air productions and easier refer and the standardization enable to mechanism of parts. Next is mechanizations refer to the development of machine to the perform and as much as the manufacturing processes as possible. The manual skills and establishment use for folding and bending machine to make it the further mechanization is a process of automobile preparation and also the human efforts and the reduce of the minimum of skills. So next we proceed. A method of production scheduling is called PERT. So introduced in 1968, it's like some of material PERT is the planning, controlling, techniques and also the basically techniques of PERT is an PERT consisting of the materials and also the science and devices necessary to work. It is a work of mid-up of activity. We have descriptions of the compromised projects and an activity which show videos and also PERT is advantageous for non-repetitive and routine projects. It is being used for research and development projects to conducting a new product development and preparations for building and also the proposal for a periodic maintenance and showdowns and a pilot runners and also the constructions of building, bridge and the power stations PERT helps. So there are four. First is focus and attention of the potential problems in a project. B is reasonably the project of attainment project and objectives. C is evaluate the progress and toward the attainment and indicate the feasible adjustment and related activity to improve the overall projects and accomplishments. So next is factors involved in manufacturing. The manufacturer of any article involves the following factors. First, design. Second is material. Third is processing. So design is maybe standard or aesthetic. It is unchanging of some articles and staple merchandise. It may be a variable and subject to change and overnight. And it is in case of some lines of styles of merchandise, or it is a change maybe of imperceptibly and effective over a fairly longer period of time. So next we proceed to requirements of design. So the design is the article must be meet for requirements, namely customer acceptance, utility, economic processing, and proper kind of materials can be used. So first is customer acceptance. So the designs of article have been called customer acceptance value. It can an article of appeal of a customer's then stays of the size. It means that it is a shoes or a shoe wherein a manufacturer for the instance of manufacturers has a cut style of shoes for men And also, it is trying to find the customer wants is not or a simple process of sounds. Second is utility. Utility is the second requirement of design. It is that the productive shall equitable and served in a purpose which is extended. And number three is economic processing. Economic processing is a third requirement that design articles should not be cost for the use of an economical factoring processes. If the design is slow and the process of manufacturing the high cost of production, well, the results this will be make it difficult for the products to be sold at a profit. And number four is kind of material can be used. So the fourth requirements of design is must be a suite of materials which can be articles can be made. The material rather can you have a work produced and also for non-foldable products. And there will be those who will supply that we are kind of products. So next is cost of development and manufacturing. Before undertaking the development of manufacturer product, the management must be able to emphasize we are return of a product that can't incontaminate with the cost of development. It goes without saying that it is required not only the forecast but to the market for the product and also for the knowledge of time, effort, and equipment and required into development. It is a very important. It is estimated cost of manufacture because it can be economically, otherwise the product will be a little used. Next is processing. Processing is the manufacturing is the third last factor involved the processing, which is required the machine and labor. The proportion, however, each of seldom and the same manufacturer to the different products. For example, the manufacturer safety desirable blades uses of the high automatic machine on several which is maybe intended to the person or the other processes however we are required are two or three or more attendant to a machine. Strength to automaticity. Automatic tendency is a machine designed to make the machine are more automatic in their operations. But so less labor is required, and the early printing machine is operated by hand, while the modern printing press is run from electric motor and automatically. And next is advantage automaticity. It is obvious that more automatically city or automatically in operations is less of labor and required, and the consequently of the less of cost we will be consumes and the cost of manufacturing effects. Next is choice of materials. So a second factor of manufacturing of a choice materials is among the other things depend on first utility or purpose, second is durability, third is cost development and manufacturer of the product. So first is utility. Utility is an article that maybe has either a utility purpose or decorative one and something both. And also it is a temporary article to carry the consideration of men, and it is the case of cheapness of materials and expensive method of manufacturing. Durability is the article of utility purpose. We are made some of consideration for durability, and choice to durable the material is desirable. And it is the sum of economical manufacturing is also indesirable in order to keep on cost down. And for example, both nail and the other items in the hardware are available to durable and non-durable materials since the superficial appearance of both of some and the ordinary customer does not know the differences in value. And also, as long as the market exists, bring an article within the reach of more purchaser and those open up with their market. So, before we're gonna end our discussion, I just want to read a quote first. Great organization demand a high level of commitment by the people involved. And I hope you learned something and God bless us all.